Hello everyone, glad to be back. Still 6th of June. Now it's about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and this video gonna be second update for today, but this time for Patreon only, and I will share with you additional information about main topics for today, which is of course situation in Kherson region with the Kakhovka Hydroelectric Power Plant and this failed Ukrainian local scale counteroffensive that did take place for last couple of days in Ugledar direction. So first of all, let me share with you latest information about this devastating situation in Kherson region. As you know, both sides, Russian side and the Ukrainian side, are blaming each other for destruction of this Kakhovka energo plant. But when it comes to reasoning behind it, to be honest, I did not find any reason why Russian side should or will do this kind of stuff, because maybe not all of you know that, for example, Crimean Peninsula is receiving water from Crimean channel, and this channel is connected with the Kakhovka water reservoir. And now, once this Kakhovka hydroelectric plant is destroyed, water level in Kakhovka water reservoir will drop significantly. It's just inevitable. And there are some high risks that Crimea will be left without water from the Dnieper river, and this is, as I said, main source of water for entire peninsula, which is a huge deal, really. And as you know, Russian side was very keen to reopen this channel, which was blocked by Zelensky's regime and previous regimes in Kiev since the 2014. That's how important this waterway is for Russia and for Crimea in particular. Also, when it comes to, let's say, defense lines on the Dnieper River, on the left bank of the Dnieper River, I did read today some reports, and I even did see some video and photo materials about Russian soldiers who were forced to swim to get to safety from left bank of the river. Situation was developing so rapidly that many Russian units did not even have the time to evacuate with the proper order and take with them all the inventory that they had with them. So you tell me if this kind of development highlights that Russian side was involved in this action on Kakhovka Kakhovka energo plant, when it's Russian side that was not really prepared for this kind of development. But anyway, I'm not gonna say anything with 100%. Like I'm 100% sure, because I was not there after all, and it's quite possible that this energo plant was damaged previously because of previous shelling of from Zelensky's regime, and maybe it just happened today that this entire construction failed. That's a possibility, isn't it? And we do have many accounts when Zelensky's regime, representatives of Zelensky's regime, were openly saying that they were shelling Kakhovka Dam and power plant. So it's quite possible, really, that under heavy pressure of the water, entire construction just failed because of previous damage that was done by this constant shelling from Ukrainian side. Who knows? But to be honest, I don't see any reasoning why Russian side will do anything like that, because it's just, from Russian point of view, it's just pointless. That does not benefit Russia in any ways. It just brings more destruction and more problems. And I don't think Russian side needs any problems in any direction, but especially in the direction of this land bridge between Crimea and mainland Russia. But let's see, of course, during the day or next few days we will probably learn some more information. And to be honest, I absolutely would not be surprised if engineers will, or maybe satellite pictures, will confirm that it was construction itself that was damaged as a result of previous strikes and just failed under pressure. And maybe yesterday no one side did target this energo plant. Who knows? But situation is truly serious and truly dramatic in Kherson region right now, and tens of settlements have been evacuated and are already flooded, and tens of thousands of people are fleeing now for safety. And let me also talk about statements that Shoigu made, Defense Minister of Russian Federation, about this recent local scale counteroffensive that Zelensky's regime did conducted in Ugledar direction. And according to Russian Defense Ministry, for the last 3 days Kiev launched a long promised offensive in different sectors of the front, but mainly that was that bridgehead, Russian bridgehead between Ugledar and Gulyai-Pole and Ugledar direction itself. And according to Russian Defense Minister, all the Ukrainian attempts to break through was stopped, and Ukrainian side did have huge casualties overall for these 3 days. According to Shoigu, Zelensky's regime lost 3,715 military personnel, KIA, and killed and wounded 52 tanks, which is just a huge, unbelievable number for 2 or 3 days of fighting. 207 armored vehicles, 134 other vehicles, 5 aircrafts, 2 helicopters, and some additional military equipment. So Zelensky's regime definitely had a huge catastrophic failure and defeat in this during this local scale offensive operations. And that's why I said in the morning's update that maybe officials in Kiev will reconsider their plans, and maybe they will stop all the offensive movements in direction of this land bridge between Crimea and mainland Russia in order to save any reserves that they have left, really. And they do have, as I said many times before, they do have about 70,000-80,000 more or less battle-ready reserves for entire front line, the majority of which are concentrated in Kherson region, Zaporozhye region, in direction of Kryvyi Rog and Dnipropetrovsk. So maybe there will be no more attempts to conduct offensive operations on behalf of Zelensky's regime, but yet again it all depends on position of Washington and London. Maybe they will demand from Zelensky to continue with these offensive operations that are doomed to fail. And I did explain a few days ago my take on this position of Washington and London, why they are pushing Zelensky's regime to conduct this suicidal mission and to sacrifice basically last battle-ready reserves of Ukrainian armed forces. And I guess my prediction is correct, but let's wait and see. So that's being said, let me end this short update now, because I also want to share with you footage from yesterday, which I made in one of the shopping malls here in Vladikavkaz. In the afternoon we went to city for a walk, and we were just right next to shopping mall, so I decided to go inside and make some video to share with you, so that you can have, make comparisons of shopping malls, let's say here in Vladikavkaz and in Moscow region or in Moscow itself. And in that shopping mall there was supermarket, and I went in that supermarket also. And I will share now that video footage from yesterday. I hope you will find this kind of short updates interesting, and if so, I will, as I said previously, I will try at least to make 2 additional updates like this during the week, on, let's say, Tuesday and Thursday, and on Sunday, as I always do, will be informal talks. So this is it for now. I hope you will find this video interesting, and yeah, have a nice day and take care. It's still 5th of June, and I am now in the city in Vladikavkaz, and behind me is one of the shopping malls here, and I did think maybe it would be interesting to make some videos in the shopping mall, and I will share this footage tomorrow in the update for Patreon. So now let me show you one of the ordinary shopping malls in Vladikavkaz. So I just noticed here on the first floor of this shopping mall that there is a supermarket here, Kakhovka, in which we go quite often in Moscow region. So let me show you this supermarket. It's an ordinary supermarket that you can find just everywhere in Russia. It's late afternoon, so not that many bread is left. And here's some agricultural produce. And some meat products. As I said, it's just, ordinary supermarket that you can find anywhere in Russia. And you know, some may say that Moscow is different, Moscow region is different, and if you go a little bit far away, infrastructure is much worse or anything. Infrastructure is different everywhere, but level of life or quality of life is more or less the same. Of course, in megapolis it's different. It's more opportunities, and that's true just everywhere, isn't it? But in general, countryside is countryside just everywhere, in UK, in US, in Australia. For example, of course, New York or Sydney or Melbourne or London, for that matter, will of course provide much more opportunities that countryside, small towns and villages, but quality of life is still more or less okay. If country is doing okay, and if economy is also in more or less good shape. So as you can see, you can buy any product you want really. You know, and yeah. Some lemonades here, and by the way, if I'm not mistaken, that's this Coca-Cola is exact replica of Coca-Cola, if I'm not mistaken. It's the same factory that produces this drink that was producing Coca-Cola. Some say this one is also the same, Dobry, because it's the same factory or same company, let me say this way. Yeah, here's some frozen food. Not big fan of this. And some water, sparkling water, mineral water, drinking water. You know. So yes, as I said, just ordinary supermarket that you're gonna see everywhere in Russia. So I guess it's usual stuff when you have a theater or cinema in the shopping mall. So Vladikavkaz is no different, and usually you have cinemas in shopping malls. Зал, афиши, короче. Пойдем на верхний. And of course, what kind of shopping mall can be without playground? How do you call it? Playground, no? Yeah, it's some cafes and restaurants also. Yes, quite nice shopping mall.